Welcome to Ever-Living Spiritual Manifestation, your destination for transformative content and spiritual growth. I'm thrilled to present Healing from Within, Radical Forgiveness for Self-Healing and Personal Growth, written by Jason Torrance. In this profound audiobook, Jason Torrance takes you on a journey of inner healing and personal growth, exploring the transformative power of radical forgiveness. As you embark on this journey, you'll discover how to release past wounds, let go of resentment, and embrace a path of healing and self-discovery. Through practical guidance and powerful insights, Healing from Within offers a roadmap to inner peace, resilience, and empowerment. Whether you're navigating through challenging times or seeking to deepen your spiritual journey, this audiobook provides the tools and wisdom to unlock the healing power within you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. Together, let's embark on a journey of radical forgiveness and self-healing with Healing from Within. Now, without further ado, let's dive into this transformative wisdom. Chapter 1: Understanding Radical Forgiveness. The Power of Forgiveness. Forgiveness is often seen as a difficult and daunting task, especially for those who have experienced deep emotional wounds. However, it is through forgiveness that we can truly heal from within and experience personal growth. For trauma survivors, radical forgiveness can be a powerful tool for healing. By letting go of anger, resentment, and blame towards those who have caused us harm, we can release ourselves from the chains of the past and move forward with a sense of peace and freedom. Radical forgiveness allows us to reclaim our power and take control of our own healing journey. In addiction recovery, forgiveness plays a crucial role in breaking free from the cycle of self-destructive behavior. By forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and forgiving others who may have contributed to our struggles, we can release the guilt and shame that often accompany addiction. Radical forgiveness helps us to cultivate self-compassion and build a foundation for lasting sobriety. For those seeking self-healing and personal growth, forgiveness is an essential practice. By letting go of old grudges and releasing negative emotions, we create space for love, joy, and abundance to enter our lives. Radical forgiveness empowers us to take ownership of our own happiness and create the life we truly desire. Whether healing childhood wounds, processing grief and loss, or overcoming betrayal and trust issues, radical forgiveness is a powerful tool for transformation. By choosing to forgive, we choose to let go of the past and embrace a future filled with hope and possibility. Through the power of forgiveness, we can truly heal from within and create a life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. What is radical forgiveness? Radical forgiveness is a powerful concept that goes beyond traditional notions of forgiveness. It is a way of letting go of anger, resentment, and pain in order to heal and move forward in life. Radical forgiveness acknowledges that forgiveness is not just about forgiving others, but also about forgiving ourselves. It is about releasing the emotional baggage that we carry from past traumas and experiences, and freeing ourselves from the burden of holding on to grudges and resentment. For trauma survivors, radical forgiveness can be a transformative tool for healing. It allows individuals to release the pain and trauma of their past experiences, and to find peace and healing in the present moment. By practicing radical forgiveness, trauma survivors can let go of the anger, shame, and guilt that often accompany traumatic experiences, and can begin to heal from the inside out. In addiction recovery, radical forgiveness can be a key component of the healing process. Addiction is often fueled by unresolved emotional pain and trauma, and radical forgiveness offers a way to address these underlying issues. By forgiving ourselves and others for past mistakes and hurts, we can begin to heal the wounds that may have led to addictive behaviors in the first place. Radical forgiveness can help individuals break free from the cycle of addiction and find a new sense of self-compassion and self-acceptance. For those on a journey of self-healing and personal growth, radical forgiveness can be a powerful tool for transformation. It offers a way to release the past and to create a new future based on self-love and compassion. By forgiving ourselves and others, we can let go of old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve us, and can begin to create a new reality based on love, forgiveness, and acceptance. Whether you are healing from childhood wounds, grief and loss, betrayal, or trust issues, radical forgiveness can be a guiding light on your journey to healing. It offers a way to release the pain and suffering of the past, and to create a new future based on forgiveness, compassion, and self-love. By embracing radical forgiveness, you can begin to heal from within and create a life filled with peace, joy, and fulfillment. How radical forgiveness differs from traditional forgiveness. In the journey towards healing from past trauma, it is important to understand the difference between radical forgiveness and traditional forgiveness. Radical forgiveness goes beyond simply letting go of resentments and moving on. It involves a deeper level of acceptance and surrender to the idea that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't understand it at the time. Traditional forgiveness often involves trying to understand and justify the actions of the person who hurt us, whereas radical forgiveness focuses on releasing the negative emotions and attachments we have towards the situation. One key difference between radical forgiveness and traditional forgiveness is the emphasis on self-healing and personal growth. Radical forgiveness encourages individuals to look within themselves for healing and to take responsibility for their own emotional well-being. This can be empowering for trauma survivors, addiction recovery, and those healing from childhood wounds, as it shifts the focus from the past to the present moment and future possibilities. Another difference is the approach to forgiveness itself. Traditional forgiveness often involves a process of seeking apologies and reconciliation from the person who hurt us. Radical forgiveness, on the other hand, is a more internal process that does not necessarily require the involvement of the other person. It is about finding peace and closure within ourselves, regardless of whether or not the other person takes responsibility for their actions. Radical forgiveness also differs from traditional forgiveness in its emphasis on releasing attachment to the outcome. In traditional forgiveness, there is often an expectation of reconciliation or closure with the person who hurt us. Radical forgiveness, however, is about letting go of the need for a specific outcome and finding peace within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. Overall, radical forgiveness offers a transformative and empowering approach to healing from past trauma. By focusing on self-healing, acceptance, and releasing attachment to the outcome, individuals can find true peace and freedom from the pain of the past. This approach is particularly beneficial for trauma survivors, addiction recovery, and those looking to heal deeply ingrained wounds and trust issues. Chapter 2: Radical Forgiveness for Trauma Survivors. Recognizing trauma in your life. In order to begin the healing process, it is important to first recognize the presence of trauma in your life. Trauma can manifest in various ways and can be the result of a single traumatic event or a series of smaller events that have accumulated over time. It is important to acknowledge that trauma can have a profound impact on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being, and that it is not something that can simply be ignored or brushed aside. For those who have experienced trauma, it can sometimes be difficult to recognize the signs and symptoms of trauma. It is important to pay attention to any feelings of anxiety, depression, or emotional numbness that you may be experiencing. Physical symptoms such as headaches, stomach aches, and fatigue can also be indicators of unresolved trauma. By being mindful of these signs, you can begin to take the necessary steps towards healing and self-care. Radical forgiveness for trauma survivors. One powerful tool for healing trauma is the practice of radical forgiveness. Radical forgiveness involves letting go of resentments, anger, and blame towards ourselves and others in order to free ourselves from the chains of our past traumas. By practicing radical forgiveness, trauma survivors can begin to release the emotional baggage that has been weighing them down and move towards a place of healing and personal growth. Radical forgiveness for addiction recovery. For those who have struggled with addiction, trauma can often be at the root of their addictive behaviors. By practicing radical forgiveness, individuals in addiction recovery can begin to address the underlying trauma that has contributed to their substance abuse. By forgiving themselves and others for past mistakes and traumas, individuals can begin to heal from the wounds that have driven them to seek solace in addictive behaviors. Radical forgiveness for self-healing and personal growth. By embracing the practice of radical forgiveness, individuals can begin to embark on a journey of self-healing and personal growth. By releasing the pain and anger of past traumas, individuals can begin to open themselves up to new possibilities and opportunities for growth. Radical forgiveness can empower individuals to take control of their own healing journey and create a future that is free from the constraints of their past traumas. In conclusion, recognizing trauma in your life is the first step towards healing and personal growth. By acknowledging the presence of trauma and practicing radical forgiveness, individuals can begin to release the emotional baggage that has been holding them back and move towards a place of healing and wholeness. Whether you are a trauma survivor, in addiction recovery, or simply looking to heal from past wounds, radical forgiveness can be a powerful tool for transformation and self-healing. The role of forgiveness in trauma recovery. Forgiveness plays a crucial role in the recovery process for individuals who have experienced trauma. When we hold on to anger, resentment, and bitterness towards those who have hurt us, we are allowing the trauma to continue to control our lives. By practicing radical forgiveness, we can release ourselves from the grip of the past and begin to heal from within. Radical forgiveness for trauma survivors involves letting go of the need for revenge or justice and instead choosing to forgive for our own peace of mind. It is not about condoning the actions of those who have hurt us, but rather about freeing ourselves from the negative emotions that are holding us back from moving forward. By forgiving, we can release the emotional burden we have been carrying and begin to reclaim our power and sense of self. For individuals in addiction recovery, forgiveness is an essential part of the healing process. Many people turn to drugs or alcohol as a way to numb the pain of past traumas, but true healing can only begin once we confront and forgive those who have hurt us. By practicing radical forgiveness, individuals in recovery can release the shame and guilt that often accompany addiction and begin to rebuild their lives from a place of self-love and compassion. Healing childhood wounds and inner child work often involves forgiving those who were supposed to protect us but instead caused us harm. By practicing radical forgiveness, we can offer compassion to our inner child and begin to heal the deep emotional wounds that were inflicted in our formative years. Through forgiveness, we can break free from the cycle of pain and dysfunction that has been passed down through generations and create a new legacy of love and healing. In conclusion, forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing from trauma, addiction, grief, betrayal, and trust issues. By practicing radical forgiveness, we can release ourselves from the chains of the past and begin to create a future filled with love, joy, and peace. It is through forgiveness that we can truly heal from within and embrace the fullness of our potential for self-healing and personal growth. Steps to radical forgiveness for trauma survivors. Radical forgiveness is a powerful tool for trauma survivors looking to move on from past experiences that have caused them pain and suffering. It allows individuals to release the burden of anger, resentment, and hurt that they have been carrying with them for so long. In order to truly embrace radical forgiveness, trauma survivors must be willing to take certain steps to heal themselves from within. The first step to radical forgiveness for trauma survivors is acknowledging and accepting the pain that they have experienced. This can be a difficult and emotional process, but it is essential in order to begin the healing journey. By facing their past traumas head-on, individuals can start to let go of the negative emotions that have been holding them back. The next step is to practice self-compassion and self-love. Trauma survivors often struggle with feelings of shame and guilt, blaming themselves for what happened to them. By showing themselves kindness and understanding, they can start to heal the wounds that have been festering inside of them. Self-forgiveness is a crucial part of the healing process, as it allows individuals to let go of the self-blame and shame that have been weighing them down. Another important step in radical forgiveness for trauma survivors is setting boundaries with those who have hurt them. It is essential for individuals to protect themselves from further harm and to create a safe space for their own healing. By establishing healthy boundaries, trauma survivors can start to rebuild their sense of self-worth and regain control over their lives. Finally, practicing gratitude and mindfulness can help trauma survivors to stay present in the moment and focus on the positive aspects of their lives. By expressing gratitude for the good things that they have, individuals can shift their perspective from one of victimhood to one of empowerment. Mindfulness techniques can also help trauma survivors to stay grounded and centered, even in the midst of difficult emotions. Through these steps, trauma survivors can begin to embrace radical forgiveness and start the journey towards healing from within. Chapter 3: Radical Forgiveness for Addiction Recovery. Understanding addiction as a form of self-harm. Understanding addiction as a form of self-harm is a crucial step in the journey towards healing from past trauma. Many people turn to addictive behaviors as a way to cope with painful emotions and experiences, seeking temporary relief from their inner turmoil. Whether it be substance abuse, compulsive behaviors, or destructive relationships, addiction can manifest in various forms but ultimately serves as a means of self-sabotage. For trauma survivors, addiction can be a way to numb the pain of past wounds that have not been properly addressed or healed. By engaging in addictive behaviors, individuals are essentially harming themselves in an attempt to escape from their inner turmoil. This cycle of self-destructive behavior can further perpetuate feelings of shame, guilt, and low self-worth, creating a vicious cycle that is difficult to break without proper support and guidance. Radical forgiveness offers a unique perspective on addiction recovery, by helping individuals explore the root causes of their addictive behaviors and address the underlying emotional pain that drives their self-destructive patterns. By practicing self-forgiveness and compassion, individuals can begin to heal the wounds of their past traumas and break free from the cycle of addiction. Healing childhood wounds and inner child work are essential components of addressing addiction as a form of self-harm. Many addictive behaviors stem from unmet childhood needs, unresolved trauma, and deep-seated emotional wounds that continue to impact individuals into adulthood. By reconnecting with their inner child and providing the love, nurturing, and support that was missing in their formative years, individuals can begin to heal the root causes of their addiction and cultivate a sense of self-compassion and self-love. In conclusion, understanding addiction as a form of self-harm is a powerful tool for individuals looking to move on from past trauma and embark on a journey of self-healing and personal growth. By embracing radical forgiveness, practicing self-compassion, and addressing the root causes of their addictive behaviors, individuals can break free from the cycle of self-sabotage and create a life filled with love, healing, and empowerment. It is never too late to begin the journey towards healing from within and reclaiming your true essence. Using radical forgiveness to break free from addiction. In the journey of healing from addiction, radical forgiveness can be a powerful tool to break free from the chains of substance abuse and reclaim your life. This subchapter will explore how the principles of radical forgiveness can help you let go of past traumas, release feelings of guilt and shame, and create a new path towards recovery and personal growth. Radical forgiveness is about letting go of resentment, anger, and blame towards yourself and others. It involves accepting what has happened in the past, acknowledging the pain it has caused, and choosing to release the emotional burden that has been holding you back. By practicing radical forgiveness, you can free yourself from the cycle of self-destructive behaviors and negative thought patterns that fuel addiction. For trauma survivors, radical forgiveness can be a transformative process that allows you to heal deep emotional wounds and break free from the grip of addiction. By forgiving yourself and others for past hurts, you can release the emotional pain that has been driving your addictive behaviors and find a new sense of peace and empowerment. In addiction recovery, radical forgiveness can help you address the underlying issues that have been fueling your substance abuse. By exploring the root causes of your addiction and forgiving yourself and others for past mistakes, you can begin to heal from the inside out and create a new foundation for lasting sobriety and personal growth. Whether you are struggling with childhood wounds, grief and loss, betrayal, or trust issues, radical forgiveness offers a path towards healing and transformation. By embracing the principles of radical forgiveness, you can break free from the chains of addiction, release the emotional burdens of the past, and create a new future filled with hope, self-love, and inner peace. It is never too late to start your journey towards healing from within and reclaiming your life from the grip of addiction. Healing the root causes of addiction through forgiveness. Addiction is often a result of deep-rooted trauma and unresolved emotional pain. In order to truly heal from addiction, it is essential to address and forgive the root causes of the addiction. Forgiveness is a powerful tool that can help individuals move past their past traumas and begin the healing process. Chapter 4: Radical Forgiveness for Self-Healing and Personal Growth. Embracing self-forgiveness. In the journey of healing from past trauma, one of the most important steps is learning to embrace self-forgiveness. This process can be challenging, especially for those who have experienced deep emotional wounds. However, self-forgiveness is essential for true healing and personal growth. It is about releasing ourselves from the burden of guilt and shame, and allowing ourselves to move forward with compassion and love. For trauma survivors, self-forgiveness can be particularly difficult. The pain and suffering that comes from traumatic experiences can leave deep scars on the soul. But by practicing radical forgiveness, we can begin to let go of the anger and resentment we hold towards ourselves. We can start to see ourselves as worthy of love and acceptance, despite our past mistakes or shortcomings. In addiction recovery, self-forgiveness plays a crucial role in breaking free from the cycle of shame and self-blame. By acknowledging our mistakes and taking responsibility for our actions, we can begin to forgive ourselves for the pain we have caused ourselves and others. This process of self-forgiveness is a powerful tool for rebuilding self-esteem and creating a new, healthier way of living. For those who are healing childhood wounds or working on inner child issues, self-forgiveness is essential for breaking free from the patterns of self-sabotage and self-criticism. By offering ourselves the same compassion and understanding that we would give to a wounded child, we can begin to heal the deep emotional wounds that have been holding us back. Self-forgiveness allows us to release the pain of the past and create a new, empowering narrative for ourselves. In the journey of healing grief, loss, betrayal, and trust issues, self-forgiveness is a key component of the healing process. By letting go of the need to blame ourselves for the pain we have experienced, we can begin to find peace and acceptance in our hearts. Self-forgiveness is a powerful act of self-love and self-care, and it is essential for moving forward with grace and resilience. Embracing self-forgiveness is a transformative journey that can lead to deep healing and personal growth for those who are willing to embark on this path. Cultivating self-love and compassion. In the journey of healing from past trauma, cultivating self-love and compassion is a crucial step towards inner peace and personal growth. Many trauma survivors often struggle with feelings of worthlessness and self-blame, which can hinder their progress in healing. By practicing radical forgiveness towards oneself, one can begin to release the burden of guilt and shame that may have been carried for years. Self-love is about recognizing and honoring your own worth, regardless of past experiences or mistakes. It is about treating yourself with kindness, compassion, and understanding, just as you would a close friend or a loved one. By acknowledging and accepting all parts of yourself, including the wounded and vulnerable aspects, you can start to build a stronger sense of self-worth and self-compassion. Compassion towards oneself involves being gentle and patient with oneself, especially during times of struggle or pain. It means giving yourself permission to feel and express your emotions without judgment or self-criticism. By practicing self-compassion, you can learn to soothe and comfort yourself in times of distress, and become more resilient in the face of challenges. For trauma survivors in addiction recovery, self-love and compassion are essential components of healing. By forgiving oneself for past mistakes and showing oneself compassion, one can break free from the cycle of shame and self-destructive behaviors. With self-love and compassion as guiding principles, individuals can find the strength and motivation to move forward on the path to recovery and personal transformation. In the process of healing childhood wounds, grief, betrayal, or trust issues, self-love and compassion are powerful tools for self-healing. By practicing radical forgiveness towards oneself and others, individuals can release the emotional baggage that has been holding them back and create space for healing and growth. Cultivating self-love and compassion is an ongoing practice that requires patience, dedication, and self-awareness. By embracing these qualities, trauma survivors can embark on a journey of inner healing and transformation, leading to a more fulfilling and empowered life. Overcoming limiting beliefs through radical forgiveness. In the journey of healing from past trauma, one of the biggest obstacles that survivors face is the presence of limiting beliefs. These beliefs can hold us back, preventing us from fully moving on and living a fulfilling life. Radical forgiveness offers a powerful tool for overcoming these limiting beliefs and transforming our mindset. Radical forgiveness is a process of letting go of resentment, anger, and blame towards ourselves and others. By releasing these negative emotions, we create space for healing and growth. Through radical forgiveness, we can challenge and change the beliefs that no longer serve us, replacing them with empowering and positive thoughts. For trauma survivors, radical forgiveness can be a life-changing practice. It allows us to release the burden of carrying past hurts and traumas, freeing ourselves from the chains of resentment and anger. By forgiving ourselves and others, we can break free from the cycle of blame and victimhood, and reclaim our power and agency. In addiction recovery, radical forgiveness plays a crucial role in breaking the cycle of shame and self-blame. By forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and releasing guilt and shame, we can move forward with a sense of self-compassion and acceptance. Radical forgiveness helps us to let go of the belief that we are unworthy of love and healing, and allows us to embrace a new narrative of self-love and self-acceptance. In the journey of self-healing and personal growth, radical forgiveness is a powerful tool for transforming limiting beliefs into empowering ones. By practicing radical forgiveness, we can learn to see ourselves and others with compassion and understanding, and break free from the chains of negativity and self-doubt. Through radical forgiveness, we can create a new story for ourselves, one that is rooted in love, forgiveness, and empowerment. Chapter 5: Radical Forgiveness for Healing Childhood Wounds and Inner Child Work. Exploring childhood trauma and its impact on adult life. Childhood trauma can have a profound impact on our adult lives, shaping our beliefs, behaviors, and relationships in ways we may not even realize. Whether it was physical, emotional, or psychological abuse, neglect, or other traumatic experiences, these early wounds can leave lasting scars that impact how we navigate the world as adults. Understanding the connection between our past experiences and our present struggles is a crucial step in healing and moving forward. For trauma survivors, radical forgiveness offers a powerful tool for healing deep emotional wounds and reclaiming personal power. By releasing resentment, anger, and blame towards those who caused us harm, we can free ourselves from the grip of the past and create space for healing and growth. Radical forgiveness is not about condoning or excusing the actions of others, but rather about freeing ourselves from the burden of carrying resentment and anger that only serves to keep us stuck in a cycle of pain and suffering. In addiction recovery, exploring childhood trauma can be a key component of understanding the root causes of addictive behaviors. Many individuals turn to drugs, alcohol, or other substances as a way to numb the pain of past trauma or escape from overwhelming emotions. By addressing these underlying issues through radical forgiveness and inner child work, individuals can begin to heal the wounds that drive their addictive behaviors and create a foundation for lasting sobriety and emotional well-being. Healing childhood wounds and inner child work are essential aspects of radical forgiveness for those looking to move on from past trauma. By connecting with our inner child, the part of us that holds onto the pain and fear of past experiences, we can offer love, compassion, and healing to the parts of ourselves that were hurt and wounded. Through practices such as visualization, journaling, and inner child dialogues, we can begin to nurture and care for our inner child, creating a sense of safety, security, and wholeness that is essential for healing and growth. In conclusion, exploring childhood trauma and its impact on adult life is a crucial step in the healing journey for trauma survivors, addiction recovery, and those seeking personal growth and inner healing. By embracing radical forgiveness, inner child work, and other healing practices, individuals can begin to release the grip of the past, reclaim their personal power, and create a life filled with love, joy, and fulfillment. Healing from within is possible, and it starts with acknowledging the impact of childhood trauma and taking steps towards radical forgiveness and inner healing. Nurturing your inner child through forgiveness. Nurturing your inner child through forgiveness is a crucial step in the journey of healing from past trauma. Many of us carry deep wounds from our childhood that continue to impact our lives as adults. By practicing radical forgiveness, we can begin to release the pain and hurt that has been holding us back for so long. Forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others or pretending that the harm done to us was acceptable. It is about releasing ourselves from the burden of anger, resentment, and bitterness that we have been carrying for far too long. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the chains of the past and open up space for healing and growth. For trauma survivors, forgiveness can be especially challenging. It may feel impossible to let go of the pain and betrayal that we have experienced. However, by nurturing our inner child through forgiveness, we can begin to create a sense of safety and security within ourselves. We can offer compassion and understanding to the wounded child within us, allowing them to heal and grow stronger. In addiction recovery, forgiveness plays a critical role in breaking free from the cycle of self-destructive behaviors. By forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and harms caused, we can begin to rebuild our sense of self-worth and self-love. Through radical forgiveness, we can release the shame and guilt that often accompany addiction, and instead, cultivate a sense of compassion and acceptance towards ourselves. In the journey of self-healing and personal growth, forgiveness is a powerful tool for transformation. By releasing old wounds and resentments, we create space for new possibilities and opportunities in our lives. Nurturing our inner child through forgiveness allows us to reconnect with our true essence and reclaim our power. As we practice radical forgiveness, we can begin to heal our inner child and create a life filled with love, joy, and abundance. Releasing the past to embrace your true self. In the journey of healing from past traumas, one of the most crucial steps is learning to release the past in order to fully embrace your true self. Holding on to past hurts, resentments, and traumas can weigh us down and prevent us from moving forward in our personal growth and healing journey. Radical forgiveness is a powerful tool that can help us let go of the past and make space for our true selves to emerge. For trauma survivors, radical forgiveness can be a transformative practice that allows them to release the pain and anger of past experiences and reclaim their power and agency. By forgiving those who have wronged them, trauma survivors can break free from the cycle of victimhood and step into their true selves, empowered and whole. Similarly, for those in addiction recovery, radical forgiveness can be a powerful tool for healing past wounds and breaking free from the cycle of addictive behaviors. By forgiving themselves and others for past mistakes and hurts, individuals in recovery can release the shame and guilt that often fuel addictive behaviors and move towards a place of self-acceptance and self-love. For those looking to embark on a journey of self-healing and personal growth, radical forgiveness can be a powerful practice for releasing old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve them. By forgiving themselves for past mistakes and letting go of self-judgment, individuals can create space for their true selves to emerge and flourish. In the realms of healing childhood wounds, grief and loss, and betrayal and trust issues, radical forgiveness can be a guiding light towards healing and wholeness. By releasing the past and embracing forgiveness, individuals can heal deep emotional wounds and move towards a place of peace, acceptance, and love. Embracing radical forgiveness allows us to let go of the past and step into our true selves, free from the burdens of past traumas and hurts. Chapter 6: Radical Forgiveness for Healing Grief and Loss. Honoring the grieving process. In the process of healing from trauma, it is essential to honor the grieving process. Grief is a natural response to loss, whether it be the loss of a loved one, a relationship, a job, or a sense of safety and security. It is important to allow yourself to feel all of the emotions that come with grief, including sadness, anger, guilt, and even relief. By acknowledging and processing these emotions, you can begin to heal and move forward in your healing journey. Radical forgiveness for trauma survivors involves recognizing that healing from trauma is a complex and nonlinear process. It is important to give yourself permission to grieve at your own pace, without judgment or pressure to get over it quickly. By honoring your grief, you are showing yourself compassion and self-love, which are essential components of healing from trauma. For those in addiction recovery, honoring the grieving process can be particularly challenging. Addiction often serves as a way to numb or escape from painful emotions and experiences, making it difficult to face and process grief. However, By allowing yourself to grieve and seek support from a therapist, support group, or trusted loved ones, you can begin to heal from past trauma and move towards a life of sobriety and recovery. In the journey of self-healing and personal growth, honoring the grieving process is a crucial step towards healing old wounds and releasing emotional baggage. By giving yourself the space and time to grieve, you are acknowledging the pain and hurt that you have experienced, and allowing yourself to let go of what no longer serves you. Through radical forgiveness, you can begin to cultivate self-compassion and self-forgiveness, paving the way for personal growth and transformation. In conclusion, honoring the grieving process is an essential part of healing from trauma, addiction, and other forms of emotional pain. By allowing yourself to feel and process your emotions, you are taking an important step towards healing and wholeness. Remember that healing is a journey, and it is okay to seek support and guidance along the way. By practicing radical forgiveness and honoring your grief, you can begin to heal from past trauma and move towards a life of peace, healing, and personal growth. Finding peace through forgiveness. In the journey to healing from past trauma, one of the most powerful tools we have at our disposal is forgiveness. It may seem counterintuitive to forgive those who have caused us pain, but in doing so, we release ourselves from the burden of resentment and anger that can weigh us down. Finding peace through forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others, but rather about freeing ourselves from the emotional chains that bind us to the past. For trauma survivors, forgiveness can be a difficult and complex process. It may feel impossible to let go of the anger and hurt that has been built up over years of suffering. However, by embracing the concept of radical forgiveness, we can begin to shift our perspective and see our experiences in a new light. Radical forgiveness is about acknowledging the pain and trauma we have endured, while also recognizing our own capacity for healing and growth. In addiction recovery, forgiveness is often a crucial step in the journey towards sobriety and self-acceptance. Many individuals who struggle with addiction have experienced deep emotional wounds that have contributed to their substance use. By practicing radical forgiveness, we can begin to heal these wounds and cultivate a sense of peace and self-compassion that is essential for long-term recovery. For those seeking self-healing and personal growth, forgiveness is a powerful tool for transformation. By letting go of past grievances and resentments, we create space for new opportunities and experiences to unfold. Radical forgiveness allows us to release the negative energy that has been holding us back and embrace a future filled with hope and possibility. Whether we are healing from childhood wounds, grief and loss, betrayal, or trust issues, forgiveness is key to moving forward and creating a more fulfilling life. By practicing radical forgiveness, we can learn to let go of the past and embrace a future filled with love, compassion, and healing. It is through forgiveness that we can truly begin to heal from within and experience the transformative power of self-forgiveness and personal growth. Connecting with your loved ones in spirit. Connecting with your loved ones in spirit can be a powerful tool for healing and moving on from past trauma. For many people, the loss of a loved one can leave them feeling lost, alone, and in need of closure. By connecting with your loved ones in spirit, you can find comfort, guidance, and even healing in their presence. For trauma survivors, connecting with loved ones in spirit can provide a sense of peace and closure that may have been missing in their lives. Receiving messages or signs from beyond can help survivors feel supported and loved, even in the absence of their physical presence. This connection can also help survivors release any guilt or unresolved emotions they may be carrying, allowing them to move forward on their healing journey. In addiction recovery, connecting with loved ones in spirit can offer a sense of hope and encouragement during difficult times. By tapping into the wisdom and love of those who have passed on, individuals in recovery can find strength and motivation to stay on the path to sobriety. This connection can also provide a sense of accountability and support, helping individuals stay focused on their recovery goals. For those seeking self-healing and personal growth, connecting with loved ones in spirit can be a powerful way to gain clarity and insight into their own lives. By receiving messages or signs from beyond, individuals can gain a new perspective on their challenges and opportunities for growth. This connection can also provide a sense of comfort and reassurance, knowing that they are never truly alone on their journey. In healing childhood wounds, grief and loss, betrayal, and trust issues, connecting with loved ones in spirit can offer a sense of closure and resolution that may have been missing. By receiving messages or signs from beyond, individuals can find peace and healing in the knowledge that their loved ones are still watching over them. This connection can also help individuals release any negative emotions or beliefs that may be holding them back from fully healing and moving on from past traumas. Chapter 7: Radical Forgiveness for Healing Betrayal and Trust Issues. Rebuilding Trust After Betrayal. Rebuilding trust after betrayal is a crucial step in the healing process for those who have experienced trauma or betrayal in their lives. Trust is the foundation of any relationship, and when it has been broken, it can be difficult to rebuild. However, it is possible to move past betrayal and learn to trust again with the help of radical forgiveness. One of the first steps in rebuilding trust after betrayal is to acknowledge the pain and hurt that you have experienced. It is important to allow yourself to feel these emotions and not suppress them. By acknowledging your feelings, you can begin to process them and work towards healing. Radical forgiveness teaches us to accept our feelings and experiences without judgment, allowing us to release the negative emotions that are holding us back. Another important aspect of rebuilding trust after betrayal is communication. It is essential to have open and honest communication with the person who betrayed you. This can be a difficult and uncomfortable process, but it is necessary for healing and building a foundation of trust. Radical forgiveness teaches us to communicate our needs and boundaries effectively, allowing us to set healthy boundaries in our relationships. Forgiveness is a key component of rebuilding trust after betrayal. Radical forgiveness teaches us to forgive not for the sake of the person who hurt us, but for our own healing and growth. By letting go of resentment and anger, we can begin to heal and rebuild trust in ourselves and others. Forgiveness is a process, and it may take time, but with practice and patience, it is possible to move past betrayal and rebuild trust. In conclusion, rebuilding trust after betrayal is a challenging but rewarding process. With the help of radical forgiveness, it is possible to heal from past trauma and betrayal and learn to trust again. By acknowledging our feelings, communicating openly, and practicing forgiveness, we can rebuild trust in ourselves and others. Trust is a fragile but essential part of relationships, and by taking the necessary steps to rebuild it, we can move forward with confidence and strength. Letting go of resentment and anger. Letting go of resentment and anger is a crucial step in the healing process for those who have experienced trauma. Holding on to these negative emotions can prevent us from moving forward and finding peace within ourselves. In order to truly heal, it is important to address these feelings head-on and work towards forgiveness. For trauma survivors, letting go of resentment and anger can be particularly challenging. It is natural to feel anger towards those who have hurt us, but holding on to these feelings only prolongs our suffering. Radical forgiveness offers a new perspective on healing, encouraging us to release the negative emotions that are holding us back and embrace a more compassionate approach towards ourselves and others. In addiction recovery, resentment and anger can be powerful triggers that lead to relapse. By practicing radical forgiveness, individuals can learn to let go of the past and focus on creating a brighter future for themselves. Through self-reflection and forgiveness, we can break free from the cycle of addiction and move towards a life of sobriety and personal growth. For those healing from childhood wounds and inner child work, resentment and anger may be rooted in past experiences that have shaped our beliefs and behaviors. By practicing radical forgiveness, we can begin to heal the wounds of our past and create a more loving and compassionate relationship with ourselves. Through forgiveness, we can release the pain of our childhood and move towards a future filled with healing and growth. In times of grief, loss, betrayal, and trust issues, it can be easy to hold on to resentment and anger as a way to protect ourselves from further pain. However, radical forgiveness teaches us that holding on to these negative emotions only hinders our ability to heal and move forward. By letting go of resentment and anger, we can open ourselves up to the possibility of healing and finding peace within ourselves. Through forgiveness, we can release the weight of our past and embrace a future filled with love, compassion, and personal growth. transforming betrayal into growth and empowerment. Betrayal can be one of the most painful experiences that we face in our lives. Whether it's a friend who has betrayed our trust, a partner who has been unfaithful, or a family member who has let us down, the feelings of hurt, anger, and betrayal can be overwhelming. However, it is possible to transform this pain into growth and empowerment through the practice of radical forgiveness. Radical forgiveness is a powerful tool that allows us to release the negative emotions that can weigh us down and hold us back from living our best lives. By choosing to forgive those who have betrayed us, we are not condoning their actions or excusing their behavior. Instead, we are choosing to let go of the anger and resentment that we have been holding on to, freeing ourselves from the burden of carrying around that emotional baggage. When we make the choice to forgive, we are taking back our power and reclaiming control over our own lives. Instead of allowing the actions of others to dictate how we feel and how we live, we are choosing to focus on our own healing and growth. By releasing the negative emotions that have been holding us back, we are able to move forward with a sense of empowerment and purpose. For trauma survivors, addiction recovery, and those looking to heal childhood wounds or grief and loss, radical forgiveness can be a transformative practice. By acknowledging the pain and trauma that we have experienced, and choosing to forgive those who have caused us harm, we are able to break free from the cycle of victimhood and find a sense of peace and healing. Radical forgiveness allows us to let go of the past and create a new future for ourselves, one filled with love, compassion, and personal growth. In the journey of healing from betrayal and trust issues, radical forgiveness can be a powerful tool for transformation. By choosing to forgive those who have hurt us, we are able to release the hold that betrayal has had on our hearts and minds, and move forward with a sense of freedom and empowerment. Through the practice of radical forgiveness, we can transform our pain into growth and create a life filled with love, joy, and fulfillment. Chapter 8: Embracing Radical Forgiveness in Everyday Life. Practicing forgiveness as a daily ritual. Practicing forgiveness as a daily ritual can be a powerful tool for those looking to move on from past trauma. Whether you are a trauma survivor, recovering from addiction, or simply seeking personal growth and healing, incorporating forgiveness into your daily routine can have profound effects on your overall well-being. Radical forgiveness goes beyond traditional notions of forgiveness, challenging us to release resentment, anger, and bitterness towards ourselves and others in order to truly heal from within. For trauma survivors, forgiveness can be a difficult and ongoing process. It may involve forgiving those who have wronged us, as well as forgiving ourselves for any perceived shortcomings or mistakes. By practicing forgiveness as a daily ritual, we can begin to release the heavy burden of past trauma and move forward with a renewed sense of peace and empowerment. This may involve setting aside time each day to reflect on past hurts, acknowledge our feelings, and actively work towards letting go of resentment and anger. In addiction recovery, forgiveness plays a crucial role in breaking free from the cycle of self-destructive behaviors. By forgiving ourselves for past actions and choices, we can begin to rebuild trust in ourselves and our ability to make positive changes. Practicing forgiveness as a daily ritual can help us let go of shame and guilt, allowing us to focus on our journey towards healing and recovery. It may involve seeking support from a therapist or support group, as well as engaging in practices such as journaling, meditation, or prayer to cultivate a sense of self-forgiveness and compassion. For those seeking personal growth and self-healing, forgiveness can be a transformative practice that fosters inner peace and resilience. By releasing past hurts and grievances, we can create space for new opportunities and experiences to unfold. Practicing forgiveness as a daily ritual can help us cultivate a mindset of openness and acceptance, allowing us to let go of limiting beliefs and embrace our true potential. This may involve setting intentions for forgiveness each morning, engaging in forgiveness meditations or affirmations, and actively choosing to respond with compassion and understanding in challenging situations. In conclusion, practicing forgiveness as a daily ritual can be a powerful tool for healing childhood wounds, grief and loss, betrayal, and trust issues. By incorporating forgiveness into our daily routines, we can begin to release the emotional baggage that weighs us down and prevents us from fully embracing life. Whether you are a trauma survivor, recovering from addiction, or simply seeking personal growth and healing, radical forgiveness offers a path towards self-acceptance, healing, and transformation. Remember, forgiveness is not about condoning past actions or forgetting past hurts, but rather about releasing the grip of resentment and anger in order to reclaim our power and move forward with grace and compassion. Cultivating gratitude and resilience. In the journey of healing from past trauma, cultivating gratitude and resilience can be powerful tools to aid in the healing process. Gratitude allows us to shift our focus from what we have lost or suffered to what we still have and the blessings in our lives. It helps us to see the beauty and positivity that still exists, even in the midst of pain and suffering. Resilience, on the other hand, is the ability to bounce back from adversity and overcome challenges. It is the strength within us that allows us to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the circumstances may be. For trauma survivors, cultivating gratitude can be particularly challenging, as the pain and suffering from the past can often overshadow any sense of gratitude or positivity. However, by focusing on even the smallest blessings in our lives, such as a sunny day or a kind gesture from a friend, we can begin to shift our perspective and open ourselves up to the healing power of gratitude. Resilience, on the other hand, is often a natural trait that trauma survivors possess, as they have already demonstrated incredible strength and courage in overcoming their past traumas. For those in addiction recovery, cultivating gratitude and resilience can be essential in maintaining sobriety and preventing relapse. By focusing on the positive aspects of life and the progress that has been made in recovery, individuals can find the motivation and strength to continue on their healing journey. Resilience is also crucial in addiction recovery, as setbacks and challenges are inevitable. By cultivating resilience, individuals can bounce back from these setbacks and continue on the path to recovery. For those seeking self-healing and personal growth, gratitude and resilience can be powerful tools in overcoming obstacles and achieving personal transformation. By practicing gratitude daily and focusing on the blessings in our lives, we can shift our mindset from one of lack and limitation to one of abundance and possibility. Resilience, on the other hand, allows us to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and strength, knowing that we have the inner resources to overcome any challenge that comes our way. In conclusion, cultivating gratitude and resilience are essential practices for those looking to move on from past trauma and achieve healing and personal growth. By focusing on the positive aspects of life and developing the inner strength to overcome challenges, individuals can find the courage and resilience needed to heal from their past traumas and create a brighter future for themselves. Through the practice of gratitude and resilience, individuals can tap into their inner power and create a life filled with joy, peace, and fulfillment. Spreading healing and forgiveness to others. In the journey of healing from past trauma, one of the most powerful tools we can utilize is spreading healing and forgiveness to others. By extending forgiveness to those who have wronged us, we release the weight of resentment and anger that we have been carrying. This act of forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others, but rather about freeing ourselves from the bondage of our past pain. For trauma survivors, radical forgiveness can be a transformative process that allows for deep healing to take place. By letting go of the need for revenge or retribution, we create space for healing and growth to occur. When we choose to forgive those who have hurt us, we are not only releasing them from our anger, but also releasing ourselves from the chains of our past trauma. In addiction recovery, spreading healing and forgiveness to others can be a vital step in the journey towards sobriety. By forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and forgiving those who may have contributed to our addiction, we can begin to heal the wounds that led us to seek solace in substance abuse. Through radical forgiveness, we can break free from the cycle of self-destructive behaviors and move towards a life of peace and sobriety. For those seeking self-healing and personal growth, spreading healing and forgiveness to others is a powerful way to cultivate a sense of inner peace and harmony. By letting go of grudges and resentments, we create space for love and compassion to flourish within us. As we extend forgiveness to others, we also extend forgiveness to ourselves, allowing for deep healing and transformation to take place. In the process of healing childhood wounds, grief and loss, or betrayal and trust issues, spreading healing and forgiveness to others can be a challenging but ultimately rewarding endeavor. By choosing to let go of past hurts and grievances, we open ourselves up to the possibility of healing and growth. Through radical forgiveness, we can create a new narrative for ourselves, one that is rooted in love, compassion, and forgiveness. For trauma survivors, radical forgiveness offers a path towards reclaiming our power and agency. By choosing to forgive those who have wronged us, we take back control of our own narrative and refuse to let the past define us. This process can be incredibly empowering and liberating, allowing us to move forward with strength and resilience. In addiction recovery, radical forgiveness can be a crucial tool in breaking free from the cycle of guilt and shame. By forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and forgiving others who may have contributed to our struggles, we can create space for healing and transformation. This process of self-forgiveness is essential for building a foundation of self-love and self-compassion. For those looking to embark on a journey of self-healing and personal growth, radical forgiveness provides a roadmap for inner peace and transformation. By letting go of old wounds and embracing a mindset of forgiveness, we can cultivate a sense of wholeness and well-being. This process requires courage and vulnerability, but the rewards are immeasurable. In the realms of healing childhood wounds, overcoming grief and loss, and navigating betrayal and trust issues, radical forgiveness offers a path towards healing and restoration. By choosing to forgive ourselves and others, we can break free from the chains of the past and create a future filled with love, joy, and connection. Radical forgiveness is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Embrace the power of forgiveness, and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. As we conclude our journey through healing from within, Radical Forgiveness for Self-Healing and Personal Growth by Jason Torrance, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for joining me on this transformative exploration. May the wisdom and insights shared in this audiobook resonate deeply within you, guiding you on a path of healing, self-discovery, and personal growth. Remember, healing is not a destination but a journey. A journey you're now equipped to navigate with grace and resilience. If you found value in this audiobook, don't forget to show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your support allows us to continue sharing empowering content that uplifts and inspires. Thank you for being a part of our community and for your commitment to your own growth and healing journey. Together, we're creating a world filled with love, compassion, and transformation. With deep gratitude and warmest wishes. Ever-living spiritual manifestation.